ranking game cases for each of one of my consoles and handhelds. Yeah. Now I'm going to be including some consoles that I do have and consoles that I don't have that have game cases. I will not be including my Game Boy, Game Boy Color, or Atari 2600 games that I don't even have boxes for. Only the consoles and handhelds that I have game cases for. And I also will not be including any DS or 3DS games that I don't also have any cases for. But anyways, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off with the old ones. Yeah, the old ones, you get it? And then we're going to go to the modern. Alright, let's start with some PS1 games. Yeah, these babies right here. Yeah. These PS1 jewel cases are not that good. Same with Sega CD, Sega Saturn, Dreamcast, and also these long box PS1 games, which also came in these jewel cases. And there are even some long box PS1 games that actually came in a different case, like Resident Evil, Starblade Alpha, which is like one of the rarest games on the system, and basically, Discworld and every other long box game that came in a different case. And for some reason later on, they gave it these freaking jewel cases where they always break. Like, see this man 2001 great case, there's a crack there. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, there's a crack right there. And Madden 2000, which is a crack right there. I can't stand these jewel cases. They're evil. And another thing that's annoying is that you have to replace them if you buy these things on Amazon or eBay or any other site. Yeah, which is kind of dumb. So I'm gonna I'm gonna give these a 2 out of 10. Yeah. Can't stand these jewel cases. I just can't. Go away. Next up is some PS2 games. Yeah, these PS2 games are quite amazing. They actually came with these DVD cases like GameCube and Xbox before they came out, instead of these crappy jewel cases, which I can't stand. And another fact, when you open these up, let me take out the disc for a moment. Yeah, this is an earlier PS2 disc that has a blue disc on the back, while these ones, like Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec, has a silver DVD disc. Yeah, and this one is just basically CD. How to tell it, because it says compact disc right there, and this one says DVD. So this one's a DVD and this one is a CD. So yeah. And another thing, these PS2 games, like some of them actually didn't have room for the memory card, while most PS2 games did have room to put your memory cards in. Yeah. But other than that, these are cool. They're not freaking garbage like these PS1 games. So I might give these I don't know, maybe an 8 out of 10. Next one is, of course, the PS3. These PS3 games actually came with Blu-ray cases. Yeah, and another thing that's cool about these PS3 Blu-ray cases is that you can actually, see the cover art, which is some of these first-party PS3 games actually came with different alternative cover arts if you open them inside, while the third-party ones didn't for some reason. And another thing to note about these earlier PS3 games is that they're completely different than these ones. So as you can see, you have the PlayStation 3 logo on the left side of the cover art, which actually has that Spider-Man font, which Sony owned those movies, which I thought that was just kind of weird and kind of cool. But but then later on, probably around 2009, they switched from this to this. Yes, they actually did. Yeah, they did this to, make it look like the PlayStation 2 cover art, game cases and stuff like that. So I like it. It's kind of better than these, but I kind of like these more than this. But it's okay. Yeah, these are like kind of cool, and stuff like that. But here comes the weird part. When the PlayStation Move, came out, they put some games that actually use the PlayStation Move accessory. What? Like, come on, why? Why do you have to tell me, like, this uses the PlayStation Move game, like, even on the spine? Why don't you just show it on the spine? I get it. I think Sony wanted to look at your shelf and see if you want to look at your shelf and stuff like that, and check one of your games that actually uses the PlayStation Move accessory, which some of these PlayStation Move games barely freaking used it. And in fact, the PlayStation Move logo is the freaking size of the original PS3 logo. And you can kind of compare it, like on the original spine. But then later on, when the PS4 launched, they changed it from the black header to the blue header, which was kind of weird. I don't have any blue header PS3 games to show, but later on, they changed it back to the black header, and we don't have the PlayStation Network logo anymore, and the PlayStation logo is white now instead of the silver one. Yeah, that's PlayStation 3. So I might give these, let me lower this down, I might give these, like, I don't know, maybe a 7 out of 10. Now having the Wii games to show, or Xbox 360 games to show, unfortunately. But let's move on to PS4. Yes, I'm going to be talking about these babies right here. These nice looking PS4 stuff. I love the blue cases on these PS4 games, and they look great. Yeah, there's a spot anywhere to like put inserts and the disc. Yeah. Some of these third-party games didn't even have... Whoa! Like I was saying, yeah, there's a spot to put your inserts or manuals because, yeah, they ain't include any manuals anymore. They just give you these freaking pieces of paper. And the disc is right there. Some of these third-party games, they even have no freaking inner arts, like these ones. As you can see, there's the Spider-Man, and when you take the disc out, you can see it. Looks pretty neat, right? Let's take a look at the Horizon Zero Dawn game. As you can see, take the disc out, you can see the whole thing. So, I like it, but I just wish some of these third-party PS4 games could include any inner arts. So other than that, they're like kind of cool. So I might give these, I don't know, maybe a 7 out of 10, I guess. Yeah, let's go with that. 7 out of 10. Lastly, for consoles, before we get to the handhelds, is the Xbox One cases. I'll have an Xbox One, so I'm going to be showing these. So, the Xbox One games... Whoa, not again! Not again! Oh man, that freaking phone just keeps falling. These Xbox One games look like a regular Blu-ray case. Instead of being blue, it's green. And yeah, all of these Xbox One games were different, where you actually have the disc on this side and the other side is for like manuals or inserts at the time, which I don't know why they did that. Maybe it's just, make this side less fragile, I guess. I don't know. But other than that, these ones are good, and alright, I guess. So, 8 out of 10. And next, we're gonna go to the handhelds now. We're going with Nintendo DS game cases. I actually kind of like these. They're pretty good in their own right. And you have a spot to put your manuals in, which like for example Mario Kart DS, which is, you know, and you got Nintendo Power inserts, etc, etc, etc. You have the spot for the cartridge right here, and a spot to put GBA games, which on earlier DS cases, these GBA, you know, cases, you know, were added to put your GBA games in. But then later on, see, I got Mario vs. Donkey Kong Mini Land Mayhem. They completely removed it. And what's weird, if I take all these manuals out, they have a little recycling thing. Yeah, just like they did with the freaking Wii and the Wii U games. Yeah. So, other than that, these are like kind of cool. So, I might give these an, you know, 6 out of 10. Oh, I thought the phone was gonna fall again. And last but not least, the moment that you all been waiting for is these Nintendo 3DS game cases. I actually kind of like these. They're like the Nintendo DS cases, except instead of being in black, they're white, just like the Wii cases. You have spots to put your manuals and inserts, which one, this one doesn't even have a manual, and your cartridge. And one thing I like about these 3DS, you know, game cases is that they have these little spots. Like with some of these 3DS games, they have like little art inserts. Like for example, Kid Icarus Uprising had that. And let's take a look at Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. It's got that. And Mario and Luigi Dream Team, it's got that too. So I might give these an 9 out of 10. They're quite better than the DS ones. And that is everything. Like I said, I mentioned the Atari 2600, the cartridge games that I don't even have boxes or cases for, and I didn't even mention the Wii. I do have the Wii. I have both of them, the red one and the white one, and I don't even have the Wii games anymore. So I just mentioned like all these ones I don't have the console for, and I do have the console for. So hope you all enjoyed this video. Yeah, subscribe, like, comments down below what you think of this so I can get to 1,000 subs, because that's my main goal for this year. So yeah, until next time, I will see you all in the next video. Yeah, peace out everyone. You PS1 games I can't stand. Peace out.